It's disgusting. It's disgusting, and it pisses me off beyond belief to where 42 days from now, you're hiring an individual that you want to run your company. Do you want someone making those decisions for your company? It's absolutely asinine. I understand women. I understand what matters. But for you to believe that Donald Trump wants to take your reproductive rights away, it's what you're being told by the media.
He already got what he wanted to. They're talking about this whole, he's going to get back in and do a nationwide abortion ban. And he said many times he got exactly what he wanted, to give the power back to the states. And if you really think about it, why is that a bad thing? To bring it down to a lower level for the local citizens to actually decide what they want. Is that not better than one person or one entity telling the whole nation what to do?
If you look at most of his policies, he does the same thing with like education and many other things. He wants to bring everything back down to states and kind of relinquish the really stronghold, so to speak, the federal government has on a per state basis. Just let the states run everything.
But you realize,
so you choose where you live, you choose your own policies.
JB, it's not the states that are making that decision. It's the people of the state who voted those people in who are making that decision. That's what really matters. Because, like Gonzo said, once they reverted back to the states, California hasn't changed. New York hasn't changed. It's going to go with the morals of the citizens of the state who voted the politicians in.
Yeah. And again, why would that not be a good thing? For the people of that state to vote in certain people and vote on certain policies to get stuff done, instead of one entity telling everyone what to do. What the media does and what the other side is doing is saying, okay, well, this guy, quote unquote, the dictator, changed the laws to take away your quote unquote rights. And what we want to do is come in as not a dictator and make that nationwide, not because you wanted us to, is because, that's what we want to do. But we're not going to tell you that. We're just going to tell you that he's a dictator. He took away your rights.
Constitution of the United States of America gives you the right. You as an individual have the right to follow the Constitution and do and say what you choose. Freedom of speech.
Bill of Rights.
Bill of Rights. And I revert back. What do you think, Don? Blackheart Cove? Yeah, I hear you. He agrees.
Link in the description.
This is the best. I don't have to argue tonight, Gonzo. But what is funny to me is the gullibility of all of the people in the country who are so easily sold by Flash, by Oprah. She couldn't even do an interview with Oprah. Hey, do you own a gun? You're back to Kamala, JB. You own a gun, Kamala?
Well, she also said yes.
Okay, so you own a gun. All right. Now I want you to tell everyone what you're going to do with that gun if someone breaks into your house.
I don't know what you'd say.
She actually said if someone broke into my house, I would shoot them, essentially.
That's exactly.
On the debate, yes.
She said that on Oprah.
Oh, well, I mean,
no,
that's
on
what
Oprah
she said, but...
I mean, yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a gun owner. What she meant is my security detail, I'll have guns. She might have like a BB gun.
The simplest question that if I am fortunate enough to get Kamala and Donald Trump on the Robb Crocker show, which I think we should have, because I would be fair, I would be unbiased, here's all the questions I'm going to ask you. Here's all the questions I'm going to ask you. Just answer them. I'm not even going to interrupt you. I'm not going to fact check you.
Yeah.
I'm going to let everybody watching tell you whether you're telling the truth or not. Kamala, when did you get your firearm? What kind of firearm do you have? Have you ever had training with your firearm? Do you enjoy shooting your firearm? Those would be the simple questions.
What kind of firearm is it?
That was one of the questions.
Yeah,
It's a pistol.
She'd say anything to get the left and the middle votes to swing her way. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It's not an assault weapon. I'll tell you that.
It doesn't have a bump stock.
It's not big and scary.
Chameleon. I'm telling you, Boy George should be making a just mitt off that song right now. All right, guys, we're at 8:53. One of the things that I got really impressed with today was the state of Oklahoma. They passed a law protecting you as a driver. I'm sure all of you have seen in all the metropolitan cities and everybody blocking roads to where you're in a position that you can't move forward. So when you can't go forward, you are very vulnerable to where if there's 50, 75, 100 people surrounding your car and you can't go forward, they have the ability to hurt you.
You're talking about these quote-unquote protests?
Yes, protests. So Oklahoma passed a law protecting drivers who unintentionally kill or injure rioters while they're leaving. I think that is a great law.
I think Ron DeSantis did that about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
As well.
Well, Florida's usually ahead of the curve. But yeah, I think
Yes,
I think
yes,
that curb. Yeah, I mean, this is a no-brainer. If you look at what's actually happening when these rioters come out, I mean, listen, people have to go to work. What if there's an emergency, and it's unsafe too when you have these people throwing rocks, swinging baseball bats? Who knows how many of them have a gun on them?
I'm not sure if you remember last year, there were truck drivers out in San Francisco that got stuck on the Golden Gate Bridge, and they were yanking them out of their trucks and physically assaulting them. That is bullshit.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
For it to even get to that point is ridiculous.
Well, you get stuck on a bridge, you can't go forward. But I promise you, if they knew that they were going to die, that the guy driving that truck had the ability to fear for his life and run over all of them, they would get out of the way.
Well, I can't imagine all these super nice protesters to actually rip me out of my truck and cause me harm. I just don't think that would happen.
All right, guys. I want to go around the table right now. I've gotten the word from Robbie at the Vineyard. I asked him, and I'm going to ask all of you guys listening and watching, what is the one word that when you hear that gets your attention about waking up and seeing what's going on? In Robbie's word of the night from the Vineyard, love those guys, thank them for helping us out, was fear. That was his word. JB, what's your word of the night?
I'd say freedom. Anything that infringes on my rights as a citizen in America, so my freedoms.
Gonzo?
I'm going to say financial freedom. Because, as we said earlier, that's the root of it all at the end of the day. The root of your happiness. If you're not able to be financially free or even just comfortable, then that's when things get bad.
Well, the word that gets my attention and that has gotten my attention is catastrophic. When I hear that word,